Can you tell us what happened with Channel 6?
Yeah, so they came over yesterday for a brief interview. They told me that they had spoken to the museum before speaking to me, but before the interview came out on TV, I had thought that they were wanting to hear from me because they were on the people's side. But then it kind of felt different after it aired. They kind of asked me, what my grandfather's involvement was in the museum. I explained that to them. And then I, started talking to them about you guys and how you guys have been doing a really thorough deep dive on this. I sent them the links to all the articles from Wisconsin right now and all that stuff. So I talked about, the money disparities and, the lack of transparency from the museum and all that stuff. And so that was like kind of the main point of the interview, I felt like. And then afterward, I watched it once, kind of thought, I don't know how I feel about that. I watched it a couple more times, and then I went to the Facebook page, and there were so many comments underneath my interview, asking like, what about the money stuff? And I was like, that's a good point.
So, do you feel that they censored you?
Um, hmm. I don't know. I don't feel like I mean, I didn't feel like I don't feel like they shared the whole story. You know what I mean? It was nice, they added a clip of, me talking about my grandpa. Then immediately following that, it went right to like a quote from the public museum being like, well, anything being talked about is speculation. And then it went, to another clip from a representative from the museum saying, well, a lot of the things in this museum can't be transferred over to the other one, and that's just the way it is. So then I kind of felt like, why did you guys even ask me um to do an interview? So the bottom line is just that I don't feel like they addressed or brought up any of the concerns or like the actual like controversial um parts of the interview.
So, do you feel like they were taking the museum's side too much?
um I mean, honestly, yeah, which it did not. Like, when I met with the lady, like, she was super sweet. I reached out like a day before the interview and kind of, said my story and, included, other people have been investigating this, and, there's a lot of disparity. There's arguments about, first they said it would cost this much, then it would cost that much. Then, so yeah, it didn't really feel like, I don't know. I'm wondering if, I don't know, maybe if Fox News and the museum maybe have a connection with each other that I don't know of. Maybe. I have no idea. But I thought it was, I really wanted to spread the message because I already told you guys and, other people that I talked to. I kind of already shared my story. But I didn't get to really talk about all the stuff that you guys discovered because I didn't know that you guys even discovered it yet. So then I kind of wanted a chance to be like, hey, like, this is a big thing that people are talking about, and a lot of people are commenting, and a lot of people are mad about it. So I mean, I knew that it wasn't going to be an hour-long interview, but the bits and pieces that they did take, I didn't feel like they represented me completely in a like horrible light. But they definitely didn't share information that I wanted them to share. And like I said, even after the interview, I sent her links to the Wisconsin Right Now articles to be like, yeah, like all the things that I said about money and all that stuff, like it's backed up, here are the facts. And so it just felt a little strange to me that they took my comment and then immediately went to, well, any comments about the museum are speculation. So then it kind of insinuated that I was speculating. And I didn't love that.
Although one thing that stood out to me in the interview is that they admitted, perhaps for the first time more specifically, that they will not be able to move the streets of Old Milwaukee and the European Village and the murals. Because she
Yeah,
basically said we can't do it.
right.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it sucks. We've all been, asking for answers this whole entire time, and they've been kind of weird about the wording of things and not really outright like saying that. And then, to hear it outright said like that kind of sucks. I guess I was just confused about the intent of the interview. I really thought it was, you know, I mean they didn't even share, like they said that yeah, I had a petition, but they didn't share the link or anything like that. So I just felt like maybe they weren't on my side, and maybe it was more pushing making the museum look a little bit better, being like, well, this girl's concerned and upset about her grandpa's exhibit, but they can't move it over. So I don't know, it felt like they were like, just give this girl an interview, get her to shut up, and that's kind of what it felt like to me.